There was a judge in Milwaukee County
Yeah,
who made the news because
I read that article.
he was so pissed off. He was like, every day I come into my courtroom and it smells like pot. You
Right.
guys shouldn't. Here's a good tip for you. It's not smart to smoke pot before you come to court.
Right. Right. It's not a good look,
And
right?
he says it's even worse in the hallways.
Right.
And I can't stand it. I mean, straight
I have
up,
to tell you,
I hate pot.
I've used it in the past, college and all that crap.
Experimented in college.
Not much, really. And frankly, I don't like the effects that it has on me. And frankly, it's like, so my whole thing is, what's it doing on the American public? Because I think 6.8% of the American public use pot on a daily basis.
So I grew
Which
up.
is, by the way, that's 17, and to put it into numbers that you guys can digest a little bit, that's 17 million people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of stoners.
And so,
And they're not all following
people
the
just
dead.
want to glamorize this stuff, but I grew up in a community like full of potheads.
Right.
Kids were smoking pot in sixth grade, which I can't even imagine these days. But
Oh my God. Yeah, me
and a lot of
too.
them were doing it regularly. And
Right.
they say, your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25 years old. And now it's even, some people are saying maybe it's 31 years old.
Right.
And so it's like when you're sitting there abusing your brain on a daily basis, the results are not good.
Sure.
And so you see a lot of schizophrenia, so other types of psychosis. And so, but one of the big problems is that, even back then when I was a kid, you had people like Spicoli, Jeff Spicoli
Yeah.
from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, kind of glamorizing
Dude, who ordered the
the
pizza?
dude surfer lifestyle.
Yeah.
You had Bob Dylan singing about everybody must get stoned, and
Yep.
obviously other rock songs that related to that. But back then,
He was on
You
our
know-
biggest douchebag list, by the way.
right, exactly. But back then, like a lot of things, drugs today, it was much weaker back then. So people were doing it
Yeah.
and they were suffering consequences. I heard someone recently
Now
say
it's totally chemically
you know,
altered. I
right.
mean, or totally altered. Or,
it's like so much stronger now. They said, well, it's like yesterday's joint is like, yesterday's beer, but today's joint is like, the same amount, but in whiskey. So
Right.
it's just like it's so much more powerful.
Right.
And it's going to be that much more damaging.
right.